Radio. Wrestling podcast featuring Ramen Bomber and Rav and the one and only Peanut. Woo! Jobber Radio. Jobber Radio. Jobber Radio. Jobber Radio. Bitches.
Breaking news, Impact has changed their website.
I bet you they're probably going to do another clusterfuck ladder match for the IC title.
It's a yard fight, because I call it a yard. No, I call it a yard.
Yard fight? That's what
Oh, it is.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Jobber Radio, episode number 44. And wow, we have a lot to talk about. We're on the road to Wrestlemania. We're coming in 2 more shows before the big event, and a lot to talk about. I am Jake, aka Bomber. We're gonna go around the little Skype chat right now and see how everybody's doing. First of all, let's go to Lee. What's up, man?
I'm pointing to the Wrestlemania sign right now.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Yeah. And there you go. You got Matt Zion. What's happening?
That's me. Let's fuck.
That's you. Okay. And yep. And we also have the other outsider, Scott. What is going on, dude?
Not much.
Not much. Not much. So nobody's doing anything, it seems like. Okay, well, that's
No.
good.
We just got done doing golf
We're doing
with friends.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing this
Yeah,
now.
Scott and I.
It's a recording night, so.
I just got done watching Bobby Roode versus Cassiosos Ono.
Oh. Giantess Guttis.
Yeah.
Yup.
Too many casseroles, oh no.
And we were just talking oh, God. We were just talking about that.
Oh, no. Casseroles. Oh, no.
Yeah.
He was wearing like a basketball jersey almost kind of in the match, and yet he jiggled a lot.
Yeah.
But-
Cruising for a bruising, any gut I'm choosing.
But as I said, dude, he moved beautifully.
I don't
I'm not
care.
even kidding. He moves
I
so
don't
well
care.
in the ring.
It doesn't matter. He looks awful.
He even
can't.
do
it.
Pulled off like a perfect little flip up.
Great.
Like he was on his back, flipped up, easy, no
Great.
problem.
Wear a shirt. Wear a fucking shirt. You look terrible.
Well, he did. He wore like a
I can't
basketball
do it.
jersey.
No, I can't do it. He is completely and utterly ruined because of that gut. I like him. I've always been a fan of his. Like before they fired him, I was a fan of his in PWG.
Oh, I love
But
him.
I cannot, for the life of me, get around how disgustingly terrible he looks. I'm sorry, I can't. I know there's still like Rosen on our Reckless Eating cast gets into debates with me because he's like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. He moves so great." Part of wrestling is wrestling. The other part is the way you look.
Yep.
And there's certain guys that can pull like Owens. And I think he's the perfect example. Owens is just as in terrible shape as Ono, and he can move just as good as Ono. But he made his look his advantage, like it's a character aspect. But with Ono, everything he does, all I see is giant gut jiggling around. It's like if I went outside and decided to wrestle without a shirt on, all you would notice is that. I can't do it.
He looks as slobbish as Bastion Booger did back in the day. And
Yeah.
Bastion Booger was obese, but I mean,
And-
I don't know
What it
why
is
he
is-
just doesn't wear pants. Like,
Well,
why
no
still
one
the
else
tights
has that
like
look.
that?
Others might have that physique, but no one looks like that, and that really makes it bad.
yeah.
I don't know.
It
It's the
stands out.
opposite of Owens. Yeah, because like no one looks like Owens in WWE, but he looks great. It hides the things that would annoy you. But
Yeah.
with Hero, it's like he's accentuating. He's like, look at my gut. I don't like working out because I had back problems for a year. Well,
Yeah.
it's like, come on, man. You're in WWE now. You need every advantage you can get. Either change your outfit or, go back to Cesaro and tell him to stop you from having McDonald's burgers. I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, he's awesome, but no.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I just wanted to point out that it was a good match. If you get a chance, go on the network, check it out. Even if
do it all
if you can get past the jiggle.
No, I'll just throw up all over my equipment, so I can't.
Well, there we go.
But no, I watched the little clip they put up on YouTube, like, oh, this match is happening. Oh, cool, let's see what this guy's like. Wow, he shouldn't wear that.
Yeah.
Was the first thing I thought.
It
and it's like,
unfortunately is.
that's not good. And I know it's this thing because he's probably great and everything, blah, 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 blah. But nobody else has that look, but I guarantee some have that physique. So do something about it.
He's even makes comments and jokes about it in interviews. He's
Sure.
like, oh, bigger mean. And I get it, but like, dude, just cover it up. It's not a big deal. Like, you could just fucking wear some sort of shirt, even a singlet would be fine with me, because then it controls the jiggle.
That's true. That's
yeah,
true.
If it was more snug, like athletic support. That would be all you
There's-
need. But
there's things he can do, but he just doesn't care. He's just like, nope, this is me. He's
and I get
basically
owning it, but
he's a social
even-
justice warrior. He's like, I'm here, accept
Yeah.
me.
Oh God.
They
even-
they should do a DDP thing and tape him up for a year. Just use the tape as a fucking girdle.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like it.
in MMA, there's Roy Nelson, who's got a huge gut. He can fight light heavyweight, but he's got this gut. But it's still not flab. But it's he's a fat guy.
It's
but it
muscle
doesn't
and fat.
jiggle
Yeah.
around.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
Ono's
He's
is.
big. He's
Ono's
big
is
all over.
just fat.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, look at Joe. Joe is exactly the same thing as Roy Nelson. It's like
Exactly,
big all over. Yeah.
well, I did not mean to start the show with the fat shaming going on here. I
Oh,
did not
no.
plan
Lose
that.
weight, Chris Hero.
Seriously. But yeah. Anyway, let's go. We got a lot to talk about. Where do you guys want to start? Do you want to start with Raw, SmackDown? Do you want to talk about the big news that just released today? As of this recording, we recorded this on Thursday.
What it is.
Big news. Okay, John Cena to induct Kurt Angle into the WWE Hall of Fame.
It's not big news.
That's
Nobody,
not big news at all.
nobody cares.
Makes
okay.
sense.
It's not. It makes sense, but it's not who I figured.
That's just
But
Kurt Angle.
I don't know who I figured, but that's fine.
That's just Kurt Angle kissing ass. That's all.
That's what I was
Kurt-
going to ask you
that's-
guys. If you
It's-
thought,
it's a big name.
He's done nothing but kiss ass. So yeah.
No, it's a big name, and it proves that he's that level, like you might have remembered from 10 years ago. It's fine. It's
Well,
good.
I mean, wasn't Cena's first match on the main roster? Wasn't
Yes.
it a win against Angle? Yeah.
It was. It was no. It wasn't a win, but it was close.
yeah, it was his
Yeah,
first
okay.
match.
It was that close. Yeah, that was the thing. And they've had a good rivalry too. It makes sense, but it's not like earth shaking. It's like neat. The same
Yeah.
as Ricky Steamboat inducting Rick Rude. Oh, it's good. Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not like it's earth shattering. Things change. It says, cool.
Yeah, bomber.
No,
Fucking-
I just didn't know what you guys thought.
You said it was big news. That's not big
Well,
news.
I was
I
like,
mean-
what news do I not know?
Kurt Angle is the biggest guy going in. I would one of the biggest names going in. So I figured they announced
Yeah,
who's
no.
inducting him. So I thought it was big news. My bad.
Yeah.
My bad, guys.
Well,
No, he's the headline, but it's not like they brought in someone unexpected for it. It's the main event guy inducting a main event guy.
Okay. Okay.
If it was like Scott Steiner, what the fuck? Like that would be
Yeah.
Well,
That'd be
yeah,
weird.
that would be actually. I want to see that. I want to see Scott.
Yeah,
Steiner show.
but that would be that kind of thing. That's newsworthy. This is just okay. They got a guy that they have.
I have a point though on the Kurt Angle thing. You can tell every time he does an interview how bad he fucking wants to wrestle in WWE.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's
Like I
holding
said,
back, but he wants it so bad. You can tell.
Mhm.
Speaking of that, we're going to cover a couple rumors now that are floating around. Obviously, I think there's no chance in hell of this happening, but there's a big rumor going around for some reason. I'm not sure who started it, but Kurt Angle could replace Shane McMahon against.
No.
Have you heard this? To go
Yeah,
against
that's
AJ
not-
Styles.
Now Shane is getting his yearly WrestleMania match. He picked apparently the Meltzer even talked about it. Shane was gonna be fighting Brock. That's why they had
We all
Brock
knew that from before.
Shane. Brock basically just said, no, I'm not really interested. Shane got to pick whoever he wanted, and Shane picked AJ because AJ is the best guy on the roster in terms of wrestling. So, no, it's Shane versus AJ. I guarantee it now. Especially after what happened on SmackDown, it's that match.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Well, they moved AJ to the alumni section, and Brian
Yeah.
on Talking Smack was he was not in his right mind. I don't know if it's going to happen, but you shouldn't be having that story 3 weeks out of Mania. Like it should be a long build because you
Should have
have
been, yeah.
all year. I would like Angle and AJ. That would be cool as shit.
That'd be
but
the best.
yeah,
Not
it'd be better. I don't like the idea of two flippy guys. Like AJ and Shane is not what I want to see at all. Especially after AJ is the number one, even with a title. A lot of people think that, and he's going to take on the boss's son, who's 40 something.
Well, it's going to be a great
Like, there's-
match. Let's be
No,
honest
is it?
here. I think
No.
it's going to be
Really?
good. I think
I
it
don't
will
think
be.
I think it'll have a good
it's
reaction.
going to be,
but-
oh god, what did they do? But it's not going to be.
No,
a good
I
match
think
at
it'll
all.
have a good reaction. It's AJ. AJ doesn't have bad
Yeah.
matches, but it's just I think the problem is I'm
It's a
soured
waste.
on Shane. Like Shane fought Taker, it was excellent, and ever since then Shane has overstayed his welcome, unfortunately.
Shane fought Taker in a match that nobody wanted or expected before Raw started. Nobody
was good.
wanted. No,
It
yeah,
was
it's good,
good.
but nobody wanted it.
I wouldn't say it
I
sucked.
thought it was
it was
good.
it was good. It
thought
wasn't
it was
terrible. It
But
wasn't
no.
great.
Nobody wanted it.
I
And
like
it's-
this.
Yeah, but again, this now it's AJ and Shane. Why?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a wide fact.
It's a waste of AJ. I think.
Yep. But that's what this
Because-
WrestleMania is all about: wasting people to do what they want to do for some reason. So.
It's
Yeah.
because that whole thing, like Cena and Undertaker would have been a great huge match, but no, let's not do that. We're not going that direction. It's called WrestleMania, and you're putting Lesnar and Goldberg together.
Mhm.
This is where you do the big-ass one-off matches. That's what Mania is. The last two
not
haven't
Mania,
felt...
no.
It hasn't felt like Mania. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
it
it's another
has.
show.
I don't know.
agree.
Except for a couple matches, but...
But you got to realize though, like the three big matches, I guess, like the Goldberg Brock, the Owens
That feels like a Mania match.
Owens Jericho, and the Orton and Wyatt. All three of those, they've had like some good. They haven't like just threw them together. They seem to have built it up really well.
Agreed.
For a long time.
But,
I would
however, all
argue
three
not
of-
well.
Okay,
but
okay.
Owens built-
One was done very well.
Yes.
Owens and Jericho,
Yeah,
like
Jericho and Owens,
fantastic.
See, here's the problem with them. They're all built in a way that are logical from when they started to be a Mania match. However, no one thought Goldberg and Lesnar would be the Universal title. Owens and Jericho for the U.S. title, a step down from the Universal title. And I forget the other one, but no one
Wyatt
expected
and
that.
Orton.
Oh, Wyatt Norton, the other
Wyatt
the other-
Norton,
the
everyone
WWE
figured,
That's the
oh, that's-
problem.
That's
Forget
the
it.
given. That's a normal. That's a Mania match. That's for the WWE title. None of those
that's
seem
fair.
like they should have had the titles they have. That's the thrown-in part. It's like, why,
We argued
why
this
isn't-
last time, though, too.
But why
I mean, like,
isn't Owens caring?
they
Like, I
have-
want my title back.
they have a stacked goddamn roster, and this is what they're giving
Yeah.
us. That's what I don't understand about it. Again, these matches would be fine any other pay-per-view, but this is WrestleMania, and they're just flat out going. It's like when they didn't do Sting and Undertaker. And I understood why they didn't, because they felt like both guys wouldn't be able to put on a good match, but it would have been the atmosphere. It would have been like
Exactly.
they had the chance to do Rock and Hogan.
It would have been
and
like
they went-
Hogan
they
and
went-
Sting at Bound for Glory. It would have been great.
But I mean, like, my point is, Hogan and Rock goes down as not a good match, but it's one of the most memorable WrestleMania matches of all time.
I was
But
there for
that's-
that. It was insane.
Same mindset now that they were back then, or back then that they are now. Imagine Vince going, you know what though, Hogan can't go anymore, so let's just put Hogan with some other guy and Rock with some other guy, and then they just don't do it. And that's where we're at now. Is that they're going with safe bets in terms of like wrestling, like the actual quality of matches. But Undertaker and Cena was money. Undertaker Cena was the match. And
It
they're just
still
like, no,
is, and yet it's gone. Undertaker and Reigns is interesting in that same regard.
It'll be good, but it's not going to be Undertaker Cena. That's just all there is to it. It's going to be a
And
different
that's
match.
And
yeah.
there's always next year.
Every
No.
year
Is
they
there?
don't do it is every year they throw away money.
No, is there next year though? With the way
Undertaker's-
Undertaker
yeah.
is,
I mean,
is
maybe.
there? Thing is, as long as he can walk, he will. But that's the problem. We're way too far beyond when it would have been one of those great matches like the ones with HBK or Triple H. Like, we're well beyond when Taker really probably should have hung it up. He still gets the reaction. He still gets the crowd. Him being there is the moment. The Rumble proved that people eat this shit up. But then he has to actually wrestle.
I gotta ask a question though. If he hurts his neck in the match and he tries to do the sit up, is it okay if he just puts his legs in the air instead of? That'd be awesome. He does some yoga.
So you're saying that you think that this could be his last match?
I think this is it for him.
I've
yeah.
thought that for
No
a few
way.
years.
Well, I have one reason to think that is because Cena and Taker was the rumored match for a long time this year.
Yeah.
And even Meltzer said that was the plan, and then all of a sudden they just did a huge turn to the point where they put Cena in a match that doesn't matter, and Cena has said on TV it doesn't matter. I think the reason is they want Taker to go out giving a win to the future guy instead of a
Right.
guy like Cena who's winding down. So if they think this is the end for Undertaker, they're gonna have him lose to Reigns, not Cena.
And that makes sense
Yeah.
in the longevity of things. 5-10 years down the road, he'll be able to say he did that. Like that's the right decision. However,
I don't think it is.
no, I mean
I do.
for Reigns and Reigns only. But for everything else in the company, Cena, Undertaker. That's
No,
the,
Reigns, this is going to hurt Reigns more than it's going to help him. I mean, he's going to be, if anything, unless they turn him, but they're not going to do that.
that's
Yeah.
yeah. But
If
then
they
why?
turn him, this would be perfect.
This-
This would be perfect.
They
It
know
would
what
be.
his reactions are and how dickish he was on Raw. To talk about
Yes.
Raw, there you go, Bomber. And yet, like, how do you not realize they're gonna boo him? And if he
No.
wins, they're gonna crucify him.
They know, they don't care.
I don't know.
I don't understand why they're so reluctant to turn him, because they've got so many years with them.
Yeah.
They could turn him and make him heel, and then make him a bigger babyface when
That's
they turn
what-
him a year down the road.
That's what Jim Ross has been saying in his. It's like, just make him a heel. They'll want to cheer him, and it'll work. Like with The Rock. Not to say he's the same level, but make him heel, and it'll work. It always does.
Yeah.
And John
So-
Cena was a heel before he became their number one babyface.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's the perfect time to bring this up because I saw rumors now out already about next year's WrestleMania. Have you guys seen these rumors?
Yeah,
about
I saw it.
Reigns versus Brock for the title.
And,
And
this is the
Reigns
main
being
reason,
the huge babyface. And Reigns being the big babyface going into the
because they
match.
want to make him the next John Cena.
Correct.
They went through the same thing with Luger when they tried to make him the next Hogan. It's not going to work. There's going to be someone that they don't expect that comes out and is not the next this. It's the first that.
Well, let's not compare Reigns and
I'm gonna
fucking
put an
Luger.
argument on you though, Scott. You said they want to make him the next. He already is John Cena.
But
He's not next. He is their John Cena now.
No, you're
John
right, you're
Cena's
right.
now a secondary role compared to Reigns. Like Reigns is literally the archetype of
No, you're right.
being John Cena now.
That's true. You are right on that.
Thanks,
That's yeah.
That's what's even more.
Everyone who
frustrating
keeps
about it.
saying they want the next Cena, no, you're right. He's already doing it. Look
Yeah,
at the
he's
reactions.
been
Look at
doing
what's
it.
happening.
So
It-
the Reigns and so this here's my problem with it. You remember we were doing the podcast. I said when they did Reigns and Triple H, I argued that should have been when they did Reigns and Lesnar.
I was going to
That
say
should have
that.
been the rematch. They should have done it back-to-back WrestleManias because it would have made sense for Reigns to finally get his win. But now they're gonna wait like 3 years after the fact, and Lesnar has cooled down significantly. He still gets a reaction. He still has like a buzz, but he is nowhere near as hot as he was 2 years ago. So it's like I feel like that's a waste at this point.
And also, it's ironically a match that we wanted because it made sense, but we're going to get
Now
it when
it
it
makes sense
doesn't make
anymore.
sense. Because that throws away part of the Rumble.
I mean, if
'cause-
he beats Undertaker, it will make sense though, because then Reigns
Yes.
could be like, "I'm the only other guy to beat Undertaker. Now you and I are going to face at WrestleMania to see who the better man is." I mean,
And-
that's the story they could go with.
and that's the Raw after.
Man, but Lesnar's terrible. He's so boring. He just doesn't give a. You can tell he goes out there, gets paid millions, and does the bare minimum he
Well,
needs to do.
Well, dude,
That's
he's
right.
on Raw. He stands there while Paul talks, and then he
Yep.
walks back.
He
Like, that's
knows
literally it.
he knows how badly they fucking need him and how much he doesn't need them, and he just sits there and sucks up millions of dollars every fucking year.
Yeah.
I've totally turned the corner on him where I'm just like, fuck you, you piece
Well,
of shit.
no.
And then not only that, he bangs people around the ring and hurts them.
He's
fuck
still.
off.
I still have some support for Lesnar. He still has the attraction appeal that he still has the look. Now, the only way they can save face with Lesnar is if he comes out and fucking has an amazing the rest of this year, amazing 2017, leading it. I'm talking back the way it was when he was destroying Cena, destroying everybody. That's the
happen.
only way they can save face with Lesnar going into
I
next
That
agree.
was
year.
only
but it
fun though because it was fresh. It had never been done. Now he just keeps doing that. So if he goes back and does that again, he's already been doing that. It's boring now.
It depends on the opponents. They need to give him different opponents. They can't give him the same opponents back to back times.
It's good that they're rumoring Roman Reigns then.
Well, that's for the final. I mean, on the road there. On the road there, I'm talking about. And his match, say what you
he's gonna
guys
fight.
want. His match
Fight
with
Owen.
Reigns was amazing at WrestleMania. I love that match.
No, but here's the thing. It wasn't amazing. At the time, I liked it too, but it had that same problem that the John Cena match did. Roman Reigns hit 3 moves in the entire WrestleMania main event. It was just Brock squashing somebody. It wasn't amazing.
The story
wasn't good
was
at all.
how much punishment can Roman take?
It was
don't know.
boring. You go back, it was fun at the time because it was fun to watch Roman get destroyed by somebody everybody liked more than Roman, which is why it was good with Cena. It was fun to watch
Yeah.
Cena get destroyed by somebody everybody liked. But
And-
watch those matches. They are the least playback watchable matches ever.
Well, I'm gonna have
Well,
to
Any
do it then.
their match.
The Reigns match was the first Suplex City. And then that's why the Cena match was, because it was like, oh, he just hit 16 suplexes and that's it. Well, shit, we're doing that now? And then it became a copy of that, and we're still in that 2 years later.
Gotta sell shirts, man. Gotta sell shirts.
Yeah. At the same time, like I said, the lure and draw for Lesnar still works for me. It's like, oh, cool, he's going to be there. But then it's like, oh, against Orton. Well, I don't care. Like it's depending who it is, it doesn't matter. So with Goldberg is interesting because he's got all the draw
He's
that
gonna
Lesnar
boot
had.
Building at Mania. Berg's gonna get booed so bad.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, smart crowd's
And if-
not gonna like him at all.
and if that's going to go on last, oof.
I don't think it is. I actually kind of think that they're not going to do it.
What do you think?
I think they're going. I think they're going to
Reigns and Undertaker.
and either Wyatt and Orton, or Reigns and Undertaker might go on last.
Taker losing will be the last thing you
If
see.
they bill it as
Yeah.
Taker's retirement
Or-
match, I guarantee it goes on last.
Either So what is it? Is it Taker losing or victorious Roman? What do you see last? Because when Shawn Michaels lost, it was his final walk. That's the last thing you
Chris
saw.
Roman, for sure.
You think so?
Uh-huh. 100%. I have no doubt that Roman Reigns is going to win the Undertaker at WrestleMania. I will eat my words.
Clean. No, clean middle of the ring.
Let's fear him. Sure.
Interesting. I don't know. The only way it goes on last is if it is his last match, and I do agree that Undertaker should win if it is his last match, but for some reason I don't buy it. I mean, that's just I just don't buy it yet.
You think Undertaker should win if it's his last match?
If Undertaker is going to, I don't know. I don't know.
See, if the streak was never broken, I think the streak should never be broken. Partly because you'll never duplicate it, but also someone should end it. But when it ended, it should have been the end.
Yeah.
Coming back after made no sense, except for Bray Wyatt's like.
I mean, you guys didn't like it, but I really enjoyed his match with Shane. I felt like that was when he got back into good shape.
I didn't want it.
He just seemed healthy. Seemed like I was like, oh, if we get this Taker every Mania, then we're good. Like we're good to go. But his health fell so fast after that.
No, well, he looked good. It's just I can't buy Shane McMahon fighting the Undertaker. It's just bullshit. It's like I can't suspend my disbelief that much.
And Shane that's why McMahon, I can't buy.
Shane McMahon's this middle-aged, pudgy son of a fucking billionaire. He shouldn't be fighting wrestlers and shouldn't be going toe-to-toe with wrestlers. You shouldn't have a chance to beat a wrestler.
And that's what I said. That's why I can't buy him an AJ, because Taker's old, busted up, but he's still there. This is AJ Styles in his prime.
Okay, I got a question for everybody. Here you go. Here's a question. Can you remember a bad Shane McMahon match on pay-per-view?
No, I mean,
the Undertaker match.
No, so hold on. No, I can remember bad Shane McMahon matches. I can remember awesome Shane McMahon moments.
I mean, there's one.
But the matches aren't memorable, I don't think.
Orton Shane was shit.
Test and Shane.
But that, like...
On pay-per-views.
SummerSlam. Test and Shane.
Yeah, Orton and Shane
fell off the thing.
Test and Shane was good. Orton and Shane was on pay-per-view, but it wasn't particularly great. Whenever they let Shane do something that's not a regular match, he's spectacular because he always goes above and beyond, puts his body on the line and whatnot. Because that Undertaker match, so I would argue he never looked like he had Undertaker's number. If you go back and watch that match, he was desperate as fuck. Like he was using weapons. He was trying to trip up Undertaker. Like anytime that they got one-on-one, man-to-man, Taker was handing him his asshole.
My point is it shouldn't have took Taker that long to put him away. He should have been put away within 5 minutes.
I know, but I mean, like, Cena was hurt. That was the plan. It didn't happen because couldn't come back in time, so they found another match to draw.
What they could have done even was the same as Michaels and Flair, is where Michaels got hurt early with that springboard onto the table. Now Flair's got a chance. Like, there's something where he dinged him early, and now he's got a chance to go after Taker. Like, it makes it believable, not just go. So
one question I wanted to throw out though, because I'm interested in Bomber's reaction. I actually thought Raw was really good overall. I enjoyed it. That Roman Reigns taking the clothesline from Braun Strowman was fucking magical, and you could tell they replayed that thing like 20 times, but it was so good.
He took a bump like a heel too. That was the funniest thing.
It was almost Ambrose-esque.
Hey now.
Do we know what Braun's doing for Mania?
Wasn't that good?
He's in the Battle Royal.
Is he?
Yeah, what a waste,
Well, that's
man.
a waste.
Oh, speaking of the Battle Royal, they've only announced 4 names, by the way. They've only officially announced 4 names.
Yeah.
You know
no one
names?
in there matters except for Braun.
Mojo, Hawkins, Big Show, and...
Apollo Crews. Those are the 4 names so far official. I mean, obviously everybody else is going to be in there, but those are the 4.
And Big Show being in means no match with Shaq. That fell through.
Yeah.
Which is a Mania moment, but...
It's too bad for him, though, because he got in shape just for that match, and now he's just got to be in a fucking Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe he'll win again.
He even said he's like, when his contract's over, he's done. He's retiring. So that could be it for him. Whatever happened to interpromotional matches, like a Raw versus SmackDown? Get AJ and Braun. Go. Like that. That is more interesting to me than anything else.
Shane McMahon. Shane.
Yeah. But there's no interpromotional. That's
Shane McMahon.
That should be his new theme song.
Yeah, right. Here comes a much Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon.
No,
I agree. They
should have so many missed opportunities with this.
They should have Balor face somebody, but they're going to save him for Raw.
I think they're going to save a lot for Raw, but we'll talk about that later on. But man, I heard that another rumor. I've heard so many rumors going in. Like all of a sudden, everybody like knows what's going to happen. Apparently now, I hear Enzo and Cass are going to win the tag team titles at WrestleMania.
I think that was always the plan.
Yeah, that seemed it. I'm not surprised by that.
Well, god damn it, they just what? I love Enzo, but man, they just fucking if that's the case, they're just fucking ruining everything.
We said this last time. The tag division suffered from New Day's reign having to break the record. There would have been natural championships with the club back months ago when Enzo and Cass around Survivor Series. It would have been fine. But now it's like, oh, these guys who couldn't get it done, now they suddenly are. Why do we care?
Club should have won it.
We'll get through that.
Came in. They should have come in and just destroyed the New Day. Yep. Won the tag titles, kept AJ, and made the club the top heel act in the company. Really, really get them over because they would have sold so much merchandise. And they just went, you know what? No, fuck these guys. Let's have them lose the New Day for 6 months, and now we'll try to tell you that they're good.
Well, here's the thing. If Enzo and Cass win, doesn't that mean all of the main tag teams now on Raw have held the titles?
Yeah, but they love giving everybody the titles.
That's what I'm saying. Like, everybody's had it once, at least.
Even the Shining Stars had it when they were, before they had that name.
Yeah,
they even had
it. The Matadors or whatever the fuck they were.
Oh, man.
Like, Lee could tell us. Lee, like, back in the day, I mean, that's why it's so, like, you hear, like, Piper never had the belt, or like Rude never had the main WWF belt. But like nowadays, it's like everybody gets one run with the title.
Yeah.
Well, here's the biggest problem with the tag divisions is that Vince McMahon doesn't give a fuck about tag team wrestling. So he will keep one team will be the major act in the division, and they'll be the strongest team in the division, and everybody will job to them and be second place to them. And you don't have any strong up-and-coming teams. You always just have until this team fucking burns out, and then you put the next team that has the popularity to step down or whatever from them.
Which could have been one of those prior teams.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is they don't keep any of the teams strong. I mean, they should have brought in jobber teams for these signature teams to just beat, have some jobber matches. I mean, it worked with Braun for a while. Why not bring in some local talent and have them do some tag team jobber matches to keep the tag team strong instead of not only having them job to the tag team champs every week and also having them job to guys like Roman Reigns in fucking handicap matches, which is the dumbest fucking thing. It's like
I forgot about that.
You have no credibility in your division if you're basically just two jobbers paired together, and that's how everyone sees those divisions, except for the main acts in each division.
You're good. I'm muted.
You know what's worse is SmackDown's is even worse somehow.
Oh,
well, that match at Elimination Chamber totally exposed how fucking weak their division is. It just totally exposed it.
Mm-hmm. And just the fact that like I forgot who their tag champions were for a while, and I love American Alpha. I was like, who is it? Who? Yeah, but that's fine. They're great. Like, that's awesome.
They are good.
But man, it's just like if I forgot who their fucking tag champs were, I'm like, wow, what does that say about their division? Because that's even worse somehow.
Well, when they won that tag team turmoil, eliminating all opposition, making some look like fools, and then the Usos like, we're here too. Yeah, you lost to Alpha during it.
Yeah.
I don't buy you as a challenger at all because you've already proven you can't get it done. Even though in the turmoil, you still like, oh, we're here, don't forget us. Yeah, they beat you. There's no reason to remember you.
At least that Braun Strowman clothesline was fucking sweet as shit. It's so good. It was so fucking good.
So, what's the deal with? Because I just want to know: is somebody special going to come out for the Alexa Bliss, the women's title match? Because I heard they basically announced every capable female. Like,
it's signed to the SmackDown brand. The SmackDown brand.
So SmackDown. So we're looking at Mickey, Natalia, Carmella added herself, and
Carmella,
and Becky.
Can't see me because I am so great.
There's 5. So no Nikki.
Awesome.
No Nikki. Bree's out till like summer if he even comes back.
Imagine this scenario. So they say no Nikki, but they have the Cena match open up the show, which I actually kind of think they will. Because it'll get a good reaction, but it's just boring. But it's a typical like opener. And then they have like him and Nikki like make Miz and Maurice tap out at the same time and they win. And then like halfway through the show they get to the women's thing and Nikki like surprise entrance and wins the Divas title too. And it's the Nikki show.
No. Yep, I can see that. She gets engaged and the title at the same time. Look at all her championshipness.
Don't say that.
Yeah.
Don't
retiring on top.
Don't say that. So you don't
On
think
top
any
of
like
Cena.
so you don't wait so before we leave that match, you don't think any other like surprise entrants are going to come in for that like
No.
They might bring
They
it
might.
up, but I think Alexa's probably well, actually, she's probably not walking out as champion because she wasn't going to go in. But I bet you this was probably the idea to begin with to get everybody a payday, because that's one thing I really fucking hate about WrestleMania over the last 5 years or so. Everybody's got to get on the show now. Like back in the day, it used to be like, well, I remember when X-Pac didn't make it on, and he was like one of their big heel acts, and it was like, hey man, some people aren't going to make it. Like it's more about the matches being special than just throwing everybody out there and doing a bunch of 6-man tags and doing all these tag teams and battle royals. But like now they find a way to get every fucking person on there, and it's man, it waters down WrestleMania so much.
I'm sure you remember all the tag title matches back during the brand split where there were like 4 team matches for both brand. It's like, which one has which set of tag titles? It was ridiculous.
Well, it's just like
we have it now with the triple threat. Even the Raw women's match might go and add Dana or Nia or some shit. So
yeah. Well, it's just like the main event scene too. I mean, like you hear them constantly say, you know, the main event of WrestleMania is Jericho versus Owens. The main event of WrestleMania is Goldberg versus Lesnar. The main event of WrestleMania is Wyatt versus Orton. But like back then, it was the main event was the one match, and that's what made it so fucking special. Is like that was it didn't matter. The other matches were good, you know, they promoted them, but that main event was the main. And now it's like, oh, every match is a main event. It's like, shut the fuck up.
that was like the Hell in a
And
Cell.
I remember that
triple main event.
Yeah, there's not a triple main event. There's the main event, and that's it.
And there's nothing new about all that, because I remember at the Mania with Rock and Hogan, that was it's a quadruple main event. It was Rock and Hogan, Jericho and Triple H, Flair and Undertaker, and Austin and Scott Hall. It was the quadruple main event. Yeah.
Oh, that Austin Scott Hall match! Oh my god.
But even back further when they did Savage and Flair, that was the main event. Yeah, but Hogan's got a match with Sid. It's a double main event. I remember that shit. That was WrestleMania 8.
Yeah.
They've been wanting to have multiple main events even though the last match is the main event. Fuck you.
Side note, did anybody take a worse stunner than Scott Hall, by the way? Like, how do you not
Yeah,
even go
Donald Trump and Linda McMahon.
Donald Trump and Linda. Yeah, thank you.
Well,
I mean, wrestlers, Jesus, come on now.
Scott Hall shouldn't have been in that ring. Anyway.
I am the best wrestler. Believe me, sad.
No, that should have been Kevin Nash. I always thought, but
it was. Well, I think it was, but his health wasn't up to spec, so they went with Hall because apparently, like Austin had a choice, and Austin thought he'd have a better match with Hall, which I actually agree because Nash is terrible. Yes. Hall could have better work. But man, that match sucked because Austin just made them look like a bunch of jabroni. He treated them like the club, like he just dominated them.
Well, I can tell you, live in the arena, it was enjoyable.
You know what was great though? What was great was that sweet fucking clothesline Braun Strowman gave to Roman Reigns on Raw.
That was pretty sweet.
It's not much better than that. It's
and
that was at least a 9 on the Ambrose scale.
I was about to say it was almost as good as Dean Ambrose's clothesline. There it was pretty close, but not quite up to speed, up to par there. But yeah, so let's see. Do you guys want to just brush on some other WrestleMania matches, or do you want to? Where do you want to go from here? I don't really. We already passed.
It's not bad.
Well, see SmackDown, so I can't comment on it.
We can talk about the stuff now because we can just look at predictions next time.
Yeah.
This is more like how they fucked this up. What should have they done?
There's a couple things that I've been wondering. What do you guys think is going to start the show? Because, you know, they always have a match that's supposed to start the show to kick things off going. Do you think it's going to be...
Mixed tag.
The mixed tag?
Yeah.
Cena's not in the main event. He's not going to mid-card it. So they're gonna throw him out there first because he'll get a monster reaction. He does every time. He'll get the crowd fired up and good to go. And Cena's in that like part-timer thing where he's basically out there to like help the show and not himself as much anymore.
Sure.
So I think Cena's a guaranteed opener.
Now, what I find weird is they don't have a big clusterfuck ladder match to throw out there.
Thank God. Good.
Right?
Good.
I'm glad.
Not yet,
I mean, they've got the
anyway.
Cruiserweight title. They've
Yeah,
got all the other...
It might happen, Jake. It still might go down.
Because they haven't... I mean, I hope to God they don't. But they have not officially announced Ambrose versus Corbin. They haven't... It's not official yet.
Absolutely will.
I hope so. But I'm saying they haven't done it yet. And we know the past years have been the fucking 6-man, 8-man, whatever man ladder match.
Oh, you know what, though?
Who would they put in there?
I'm going to throw something out, though. If you go on their YouTube channel... randomly out of nowhere, they posted the clip from last year's Mania of, or is it 2 years ago, of Ambrose going through the ladder during the IC title ladder match.
That was 2 years
for no
ago.
reason.
All right.
Yeah.
2 years ago. Just posted that, and I'm like, why would they do that unless they're like, well, get ready for it. It's coming back again. You know what? I bet you they're probably going to do another clusterfuck ladder match for the IC title.
Well, they got to get Luke Harper in there somewhere, and Dolph
Yeah.
Ziggler, and
Well, this whole WrestleMania is one big fucking Band-Aid, so they're just going to what they know. Well, we'll call back Lesnar. We'll call back so-and-so. We'll do the same old bullshit match we did last WrestleMania. Blah, 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 blah.
Jericho, and given the matches they have right now, I still think Jericho and Owens for the title would have been great. Because it would have been in front of a crowd that cared about it. It wouldn't have been like a normal pay-per-view. Best build, and again, I'm going to harp on this, and I will harp on it till the end of fucking time. Styles and Cena for the fucking title would have been one of the best WrestleMania main events of all time. Hands down.
And that was the best
match in. Oh my god, it would have been so good, and nope, not going to do it. Waste them both.
And that was a great rivalry for this year too. It was like pretty much the best feud they had going on this year.
Yep.
Oh, it's no Goldberg and Lesnar though. That's the rivalry of ages.
But that's what I really hate about it, because both Owens and AJ kind of earned their spot and carried these brands and made them work, and your Mania matches are not in the spot that you had for the last 6-7 months.
Right.
I mean, you talk about the part-timers coming in, that literally is that. And it
part-timers ruining things they've been like, I wasn't as against them in previous years, but I think their biggest problem is that they push these certain guys like Owens, Styles for a majority of the year, and then we get to the payoff of this push, and then they just cut their legs out from under them, throw a guy in who's only going to appear on TV maybe 10% of the year, and it's like, the problem is that, remember when Rock faced Austin for the first time at Mania? I felt that was a weird one, because Rock, a lot of people wanted to see Mankind versus Austin, like that was the match we're kind of gunning for, but they put Rock in, and it seemed weird at first, but what happened was that made Rock one of the guys. Like, they put him in, and it elevated him. Now he was a main event guy. You were always going to think of him as such. But by not putting Owens in or not putting AJ in, they go back to just being another guy on the roster instead of being the guy. Like, you got to give them a chance. It's like what they did with Miz and Cena. It didn't work, but they were trying to make Miz one of the guys. They at least attempted it. They attempted and failed, but like Owens doesn't. He just looks like another guy on the roster now. He doesn't look like a main event talent.
And if you told anybody 6 months ago when Owens won the title, no one would have believed you when he said, "Yeah, that's going to be for the U.S. title." Well, what about the Universal one for him and Jericho? And it's that's kind of the thing. Like, oh, we got the match, but not the way it should have been. It should be for the big title. It's been all this build. Goldberg's a pre-order bonus gone wrong. Like that. It's kind of crazy how that de-escalated, and yet is the most natural one there is. And everybody would have accepted it for the title, just like they would have taken AJ and Cena for the title, and it would have elevated both. Like you said there, Matt, with Miz, it didn't work, but they can always look back, and he can always crow about the fact that he was the champ, main evented against Cena, and beat him. No matter what, that's there. You
they
can't
just fucked
say
that
that
Mania
about
up, that's
AJ. You can't say that about Owens, but you could have.
Well, that Mania would have been the one with Miz. They just cast the wrong guy in that role. Like, that was Punk's match. Like, if Punk was ever going to main event a WrestleMania, he was the hottest heel they had. He was a part of that straight edge society. Everybody was eating his shit up, and then all of a sudden they just gave the belt to the Miz, and it just was like, that's why it didn't work. Because even though I thought Miz wasn't a bad choice at the time, Punk was there. Like, he was the guy. He had the best story, and they just kind of undercut it. But they don't even take chances with people anymore. I think they assume when Goldberg beat Owens, I feel like backstage they were like, yeah, he got a rub because he was in the ring with Goldberg. No, he didn't. He looked like an idiot.
Yeah.
He looked terrible.
He looked better in the little clip against Lesnar that they put on where he's
He
just
did.
got
He
to go
actually
after
some
him.
moves
That
off.
was better. Yeah.
He actually caught him with a knee and shit.
The hockey jerseyed him and started punching him with uppercuts. It was hard.
Freaking Rusev got more offense on Goldberg than Owens did, and that was just in a face-off in the ring.
Right.
Yep. Hell, so did Undertaker with his one choke.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, indeed. But that's where they're going wrong, is that they're talking about how, like, oh well, we can't. It's really hard for them to find new guys, but like, you gotta take chances and not cut their fucking legs out from under them. Because if we had Owens and Jericho, we'd had Styles and Cena, I would have been completely happy. That's all I would have needed.
And
I would be completely set and ready to go.
And if you still flipped it around and still had Taker and Reigns, still had Goldberg and Lesnar,
Yeah,
still had Orton
I
and
would have been fine
Wyatt,
with
be
that.
like, that's fine. That's a good,
I would have
solid,
been-
beefy undercard for this main event stuff.
I
But
agree.
it's
I'd be
flipped.
for that. but now
They
it's just
are-
trash. It's trash.
Well, yeah.
So, man, you guys, oh my god. So, is anybody in here right now looking forward to WrestleMania?
No, I pretty much had my
Kind of.
WrestleMania when I watched the ROH 15-year anniversary show today.
Yeah. Good on Daniels. That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I always
can't
like
believe
Mania, but it's more like I'm not feeling like I'm gonna be upset when I miss it and just read about it later.
Oh, wait, you're not
I
gonna,
always
you're not
wanna-
going to see it?
No.
What?
Have I mentioned the WWE Network in Canada before? I'm pretty sure I have. It's bullshit.
No.
I don't have cable TV, so I can't get it.
Oh, that's weird.
There's no online access. Rogers signed a 10-year agreement with WWE because they were the one to give it like a network on cable TV. I'd have to get cable TV, which is like at least $50-$60 a month, which I don't care about, to get the $12.99 network a month.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, I'll just buy pay-per-views. Oh, wait, you can't actually buy those in Canada.
Yeah, just
You
steal
gotta
that
get the
shit. Just
Yeah,
go and
so
steal
anyway,
it.
That's what I do.
I just watch it on Twitter. There's always the clips and stuff. But normally I'm like, I want to watch it live. And I'm like, I would if it was a thing, but I don't care if I don't. And that's how bad this build-up is.
Oh, man.
And yet, Matt, you were at a Mania you weren't caring about, but being there, it was fun, right?
Oh yeah, no, being at
there will
a
still be cool
WrestleMania
shit.
is really special. We were at a Royal Rumble that was like I went and watched it again later. It was the one that Cena won and Rock versus Punk. I watched it again. Man, it's awful. I mean, it's not a good pay-per-view. Punk and Rock was a little fun, but a letdown. And that Rumble match was bullshit. It was so boring. But being there live, I loved it. It was great.
Yeah.
It was a completely different
So
atmosphere.
the atmosphere is great. Like when you watch it, it's cool, it's fun, but does it hold up? And that's what we're missing from this. We don't have Undertaker and Goldberg or Undertaker and Sting or AJ and Cena. Those moments aren't going to be there. But they're going to have Roman beating Undertaker. Well, that's not going to stick with you. That's going to be like Miz beating Cena.
Well, I mean, think
they're
of it
trying
this
to
way, like,
fabricate moments.
in the
not
last
just-
5 years, what moments have they had? Like, what is a moment from WrestleMania where you went, oh shit, we're going to remember that for the rest of our lives?
I
I
just-
can't think of many at all.
Taker Lesnar. The streak.
Shane jumping off the cage is a
I
big
don't think
moment.
that was that memorable. It was fun, but I don't think that's like. I agree with you with Taker and Lesnar,
No.
but that's because they paid off something that had been building up for 20 plus
Exactly.
years.
That's right. That's a natural one. That's a good
No,
one.
I'm pretty sure you're going to remember Shane jumping off the top of the cell 5
No, I mean,
times now.
again, it was.
Well,
was
they're not
fine,
going to
but
let you forget.
It wasn't as impactful because he, it was as safe as it could be. It wasn't like Mick Foley status where he fucking died.
I'm just saying, you asked a moment that you're
Argue-
going to remember.
what I'm
Oh, I
saying
agree
is
with it.
like Sting and Taker facing off in the ring would have been one of those moments. Having AJ and Cena have a classic match would have been one of those moments. Like there's all these different things they could be doing, but they just choose not to do them.
People still talk about Savage and Steamboat. That could have been Cena and Styles.
Cena's God, man,
absolutely.
what a missed opportunity.
It's a waste to not have. Or Cena and Undertaker. That could have been one too.
Yeah,
like instead,
that
we
would've been
have
one.
we instead have Undertaker and Reigns feuding because he calls it a yard, and now so does he because he's the big
Yeah, right.
dog, and it's his dog.
it's my yard. No, it's
It's
mine.
a yard. It's a yard fight because I call it a yard. No, I call it a yard.
Yard fight. That's what they.
Fucking yard
Oh, it is.
fight.
And yet it could be a case of like Roman Reigns should be saying no one respects me, so I'm going to do what no one else can aside from Lesnar, who I'm going to beat later. I'll take out the Undertaker, and like not even heal him, but just have him be like, I don't care, because he kind of did that with Rusev, and it kind of worked. So just cut him loose, let him just do it.
It's gonna be fun though. It's gonna be a fun match. Like I already know I'm gonna like the match because I like Roman Reigns a lot. I think. Yeah, I've always really liked Cena in the past too. When people said Cena was really boring, I thought Cena never really let people down on pay-per-view. He always at least had a good match. Roman, I feel, is even better than Cena. And I know people tell me no, but I think Roman's got more of a freshness to him, more of a cool factor. So like that's why they turned Roman heel. I guarantee you, give him a few years, and he would be the monstrous face on Raw because he's cool. He is, but he's got that taint of them pushing him down our throats, and they refuse to get rid of it. But Roman is going to carry Undertaker. It's going to be, I guarantee, like it's going to be Taker beating the shit out of Roman for a lot of it, and I think that's why he's acting heel, so it doesn't look odd when it happens. Because I don't think Taker can bump much, so it's going to be one-sided. But then Roman will beat him. But it like the fans are going to be into it because fuck Roman Reigns. It'll be fun. But again, it's just a missed opportunity because
they don't want to turn him heel because John Cena doesn't, but also because they don't want people cheering the bad guy, even though they're instead booing the good guy.
Well, they said they're having a problem with Styles right now because Vince is apparently dead set on him being a bad guy. Like AJ's even said in interviews that he's.
Oh, AJ prefers.
That's the one thing that he's failed on is that they want him to be the number one heel, and he can't get booed. And I'm like, well, I mean, they just don't know yet that it's just, like AJ is basically one of the number one faces in the company. They just haven't figured it out yet.
But that's why it's going to work, because when he goes face, everyone's going to eat it up, and it's going to be great.
Yep.
He's good as a heel. Like when he first turned bad back in TNA, Impact now. It didn't work when he did flippy stuff because it's cool shit people mark for it and they like it. So you can't have a good guy do that stuff. And yet he's just like, no, I'm that damn good. I'll do it anyway in spite. And he makes it work. He's good at it. Neville kind of learned that. He doesn't like doing the flashy stuff, but he still does because it works. AJ, I think, is good as a heel in this role, but people just like him because look how cool he is. Same with Kevin Owens, for Christ's sake.
Cool as fuck.
So,
cool as fuck.
I did like the...
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No,
I was just going to say, I do like the dynamic that AJ had with Cena. It was sort of the same dynamic that CM Punk had with Cena, except for, of course, CM Punk was being cheered like a motherfucker. But I think it works as a heel, too, where you have the smaller, faster, much more technically skilled guy against Cena, and he's basically just out-wrestling him. And he's legit beating him by out-wrestling him.
Dude, he literally ran circles around him in the ring.
Mm-hmm. They keep getting these great things just dropped on their lap, and then they ignore it. It's just mind-numbingly.
And that's my biggest problem. They might have all these plans, but when they stumble into something, it's great, and they should keep going with it. But then they do that in the ones they shouldn't, and try to force it. It's like, oh no, like we liked Roman Reigns. We liked Roman Reigns when he was going to beat Batista because it wasn't Batista. That doesn't mean we always want Roman Reigns. You didn't hear us right, and yet here we are years later, still Roman Reigns.
Vince is just old. I mean, that's all. It's pretty universally known that once Vince gets an idea, that's it. I mean, there's no changing his mind. He does what he wants, and it's a hell or high water. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it fails.
Then why isn't Braun, because he's so big, in the main event?
Well, because Vince already had plans. I think they stumbled into Braun, and that's the same thing, is that you think Braun would be in one of the main matches because he's so hot right now, but they already had plans. They don't want to change them, and that's it. But man, you know what was great? That sweet fucking clothesline Braun Strowman gave to Roman Reigns. Oh,
man,
Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia.
Is there any other WWE news? Because I wanted to switch over to TNA news.
Well, I was going to say one more thing of the matches. We haven't talked about Seth and Triple H.
Whatever. I mean, I'm glad he's wrestling, but whatever.
Yeah,
cool.
It's good.
It'll be whatever. Yeah.
I was about to say.
It's the other one.
That segment was great, by the way. I will say I loved that entire segment. I liked watching Triple H get some of his from Foley, but then returning it. Like, it felt like they caught things up, which is good.
Yeah, I don't like that Seth still lost, but, I mean, he's coming from injury. That's okay. It makes him look weak, but that's the point. He's going to overcome. It's fine. They did it with Bryan. It was okay. So
I think he's going to lose, though. I think he's going to lose at WrestleMania.
Probably.
Triple H lost 2 times in a row, so I don't think Triple H is going to lose again.
And Seth will have no problem losing to Triple H, so there's no ego there. It'll be better for his character to be like you lost everything and you lost this.
I saw a
pretty said stuff like that. It's good.
I saw a pretty funny. Somebody made a custom Titantron for Evolution 2.0 with Triple H, Joe. Who the hell? Kevin Owens and the Dunn guy from the UK.
Oh, Pete Dunne. Yeah, I've seen stuff about that.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That would be some good stuff.
I don't want Evolution. I just want Triple H with his army of guys. Like, they're not a group, but they're his boys.
One little point I wanted to make, though. What was the point of Joe? Like, why isn't Owens upset with Triple H? Because Triple H didn't even help him keep the belt.
True.
Didn't they just like left Joe left? Triple H didn't bother helping, and now Kevin Owens is like, yeah, Triple H is here for me. No, he wasn't. He let you lose, bro. That's so small nitpick, but whatever.
Yeah. The one last thing I want to talk about before we move on about WrestleMania is why there's so many other people capable of like big things that are just gonna be thrown away into the fucking the Battle Royal, the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. I assume that's what's gonna happen. Like, there's, like, Ziggler. Nobody's even, like, fucking...
No, I'm done with him.
Fuck him. Like, what?
Yeah,
no, he looks like he doesn't even care anymore. Like, it's finally gotten to him, and he doesn't care anymore.
Yeah, he's done. He's literally
I just heard an interview with him not long ago, though, that he's, like... that well, he apparently is more fired up than ever. But
Yeah, no, I think it's over.
Yeah, he's done.
I think he's finally he's hit the Cody Rhodes wall where it's like, fuck this place. He doesn't feel like it's working.
Is he gonna follow Jack Swagger pretty soon? You think?
oh my god, I don't know if I can.
Probably yes.
I was
And
doing
he'll go
good until
to
he brought up
Impact.
his name. So
Did you hear what TNA is repackaging Jack Swagger as, though?
Man,
No,
you're-
I haven't.
you're
He's
ready
going to
for that
wrestle
TNA.
on his knees and be called Jack Swaggle.
I was hoping it'd be Swag Jagger.
Swag
Swag
Jagger.
Jagger. That's great.
So, Bomber, how do you feel about Dean Ambrose potentially losing the Intercontinental title to Baron Corbin?
Good. That's a good move. That's a good
Yeah.
move.
It's good. It actually overall is good.
Dean
Because-
doesn't need it.
I
He doesn't.
I agree
Because
100%.
Corbin all around. But how do you feel in your heart?
No,
Corbin
obviously,
beating
obviously,
Ambrose? I'm poking the
obviously.
bear here.
God damn it! Obviously, as a Dean Ambrose fan, I would like him to win, but
And not not a Corbin fan.
not a Corbin fan. I would
Yeah.
like him to not win, but as it goes, I mean, it's the right thing to do for Corbin. He's been building. They've been building him up nicely. WWE's been doing a good job with him and Strowman. Both of them. I compare them. To me, they're almost identical in their patterns towards the top. But for some reason, Strowman don't have a big match. But they could make up for that with the Battle Royal win. But man, I don't know. I'm just really afraid right now that when Dean Ambrose does drop the title, because I mean, with you guys, I assume we all agree that he's going to lose to Corbin. I'm just really afraid of who they're going to program him with next, because I feel he's about to get lost really soon if after this Corbin feud. I don't know who else they're going to feud him with right after this. He's feuded with pretty much everybody over on SmackDown for the most part. So I feel like he's about to get lost, and I'm really afraid that
they're going to do
That's
the
what
draft.
stopped
Though.
him before.
They're going to do the draft too, though.
I know.
Yeah.
I actually heard a bunch of different, going back to the rumors again, that I heard a bunch of different rumors about some guys are going to get traded after WrestleMania. So I'm like, okay, well, if that's
Maybe
happening,
they'll just do trades instead. I mean, that. You know what? I'd prefer that over a draft, like a redraft,
Yeah.
because then at least it's more surprising as more people are traded for that. But then what they need to do is they need to have a trade cap, because they've already said that they can trade whenever they want. So they need to say, okay, there's a 2-month window after WrestleMania. After that, no trades, no deals, unless a guy gets fired. They can get around it that way. But the fact that they've said openly they can trade if they want to, they don't want to.
Yeah.
They need to make it special, because otherwise it's just going to be the same old shit.
because the names that came up rumored is obviously AJ going to Raw and New Day going to SmackDown. But that's all I've heard so far, rumor-wise. But that's what leads me to believe, that they won't be doing if obviously the rumors are true, that they wouldn't be doing another draft right away or anytime soon anyway.
I could see an expansion draft where they pick stuff from NXT even, but
Yeah, that's true. I had something though I thought of the other day. So I was like, how can they make Raw extra special? And I actually think it will be pretty good this year because they have so many, returns and stuff. But I was like, and I know that this sounds like a huge waste, but apparently they don't respect the match. So I was like, all right, if Taker is alive after his match with Reigns, how fucking huge would it be if they found a way to get Cena onto Raw and they main evented the Raw after WrestleMania with an Undertaker-Cena match, even if it's just 10 minutes? How many people do you think they would get tuned in? Because right now they care more about ratings than they do about the network. Because they already have the network. People are there, they're going to watch it. But if Taker's winding down and he's basically done, imagine how huge that would be. Is at the start of Raw, Taker comes out to retire. Cena comes out and says that they've made a special exception, allowed him on Raw for the night, which wouldn't piss me off, but I don't give a fuck about their draft. And he says, "I want you in the main event before you're gone." You imagine how many people that would bring people in to Raw, and then not only because you'd be waiting for the end of Raw, they would see Balor coming back, maybe the Hardys coming in, all these NXT guys. It would start to get hype going, and then give them momentum past WrestleMania.
And I've seen rumors Nakamura is coming up soon as well, and and especially the Raw after Mania, from what I've heard, is going to be open anyway because it's the first show. It wouldn't surprise me if the SmackDown guys are there as well.
Right.
True. And I actually...
So that would make sense for him to be there anyway.
I don't know what this means. I don't watch NXT as much as I probably should, but during the Ono match and Rude match, they showed Nakamura watching them in the back. I don't know how soon their next matches are,
He's
but
probably gonna lose. He'll lose his last one. Yeah.
Or it's Orlando, the night before the Hall of Fame.
Okay,
It's Hall
so
of,
that's going to be
it's
his last.
NXT night, Hall of Fame night, WrestleMania night.
So
Yeah,
everybody's
that's what
saying
it
that's
looks.
going to be his last.
Triple
Probably.
threat, probably.
Yeah, possibly.
But I mean, like in the comments though, for the people that are watching, like, am I crazy to think I know that is a huge match to give away?
Oh, no,
But
yeah.
I mean, like in terms,
it'll
the
work.
problem with Raw after WrestleMania is it's so great, but then everything dies down because there's no momentum, there's nobody caring. But like, give away a match that people would really be interested to see to make sure your TV product doesn't suffer. I think Undertaker Cena, even if it's just a quick, safe match, would be an excellent main event for Raw.
You know what? Here's a crazy thing they could even do. They could promote that on Mania. Because, I say this, because they're doing a DVD about the WrestleMania Monday.
Sure, I heard about that.
Yeah.
So they could literally talk about it like, you never know what's going to happen on Monday on Mania. It's always crazy stuff. And it's going to be... And then suddenly it's like, yeah, you want something crazy? Me and you tomorrow night.
Just have like Undertaker after he loses the reins, which is totally gonna happen. He's walking backstage. He looks like he's defeated. Cena comes up, tries to shake his hand. You've done. You don't be ashamed of this. You've done whatever, and have Taker just like choke slam him into like a chair or not chair, a table that's sitting right there, and just be like, you know what? I'll see you on Raw. That's good enough for me.
Yeah, because everybody's saying that Cena's like going to be gone after WrestleMania, so I'm sure you could do one more night. But
God, man, that would be so good. But like, this is another thing. They just don't capitalize on potential good things anymore. Yeah. I think it's TNA time. Come on. This is a topic I
let's,
want to get.
It's not TNA time. It's Impact time.
I'm about to say, there is no more TNA, so...
No, it's TNA. It doesn't matter what they do with it.
Definitely not.
That's their problem. Apparently,
Until they change the belts.
Yeah. Well, okay, so the rumor is that Patron's already gone.
What do you mean?
Yeah, he was just supposed to be a short-term deal, apparently.
Yeah.
I thought
he
was
won belts.
No,
he won the belt,
dude.
and he's already done. That series of tapings was all they could afford him for.
Yeah, they did tapings. They did 5 nights of tapings, 4 episodes a night.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
taped so far up. They literally taped through May. They taped through May.
What are they thinking?
Patron literally gave up the belt in a bit that was in the tapings, but it was on a backstage thing that they aired on YouTube 2 days ago. Tonight is the main thing. His reign never happened. It was Lashley's all along. And he's going to go
Oh, my God.
And it was all on that one night where he has those matches.
Make TNA great again.
No, make Impact great again.
What are
no,
they
it's TNA.
doing? What are they doing?
I have a
How
huge
do you-
announcement. Huge announcement right here.
All right.
Impact Wrestling's website has been changed. So I remember I talked shit about it the last show we did. I went to their website just now just to see what's going on. Their website has been changed. It still
Okay,
looks kind of weird, but it's...
Let me guess what's on it. There's a video of Braun giving Reigns a clothesline.
No, the picture of suicide. They brought him back,
That
huh?
was one of the best clotheslines I've ever seen. Oh, magnificent.
But yeah, so just wanted to point that out. Breaking news: Impact has changed their website, and yeah, it's got El Rio or El Patron on the cover.
Yeah, but it's already gone from the company.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, Suicide is back, and he's with Homicide in a faction or something.
Oh,
I
this
think.
company's so dumb. Okay, so let's go over some things though, some things that did happen with them. They are still running with the make, and I'm sorry, no matter what, it's TNA. Okay, your tits and ass. That was your decision. Go fuck yourselves. But they're still running with the make TNA great again nonsense. Josh Matthews is apparently unbearable as heel Michael Cole commentator. They've already lost their champion that was supposed to carry them into the future. And not only did they lose him, they knew they were going to lose him. They knew he was only going to be there for a short period of time because they couldn't afford him. They've lost a handful of talent, and they're currently threatening to sue Matt Hardy. One of the only reasons they're still around because nobody gave a fuck about them. And he literally funded multiple impacts at his house because they didn't have anywhere to film.
Yep.
And now they're going to take him to court. Are you fucking kidding me? This horse shit of a company needs to die.
So here's the thing. Impact Wrestling returns to Orlando April 20th to 23rd. That's the next set of tapings. The picture on their website has Lashley, the Wolves, Moose, James Storm, Rosemary, that's Brandy up there, and EC3. No Alberto.
Man, I really want to tune into that nonsense.
And that was posted March 5th after the tapings.
Yeah.
Time out. First of all, Matt Zahn, yes, I am going to get into that argument with you in just 1 second. I'm just looking over their roster. Listen to these names, by the way. Mick Foley, Kevin Nash, AJ Styles, the Hardy Boys, of course. Sting's on there.
Wait.
Kurt Angle.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
Are
putting
you
all
looking
their
at
past.
alumni?
No, I'm looking at their. I just clicked roster, and I'm
Yep.
looking. These are all people on their roster, which looks this
So
page is horrible.
they had a music video montage of TNA's entire history. They left out Kurt Angle. Brandon was not in it. They left out who was the Matt and Jeff were not a part of it at all.
There was like one bit of Jeff yelling, I thought.
They highlighted as many like WWE guys that are no longer in TNA as possible.
No,
Just like
they did have
Why?
the headbutt when Angle headbutted Joe. They had that.
yeah, but I mean, like you would think Angle. I would argue Angle is the one that made them legit. Like when Angle came in, that was the biggest acquisition they ever had, and they barely highlighted the guy. The guy who carried the company for years.
Yeah, definitely.
This talent roster is impressive.
They got Samoa Joe, Ric Flair, Rhino.
Wow.
God damn, man.
Joey Ryan.
They're in denial.
Oh,
they are in denial about their own
Here's
shit.
Doc.
Al Snow, of course they gotta have Al Snow.
Generation Me is still on that. That's
Wow.
Jeff Jarrett wins the TNA
Austin
title.
Aries, who's appearing at WrestleMania, so that's good.
Oh man, he's doing
Like,
double stuff.
I give it 3 to 4 months before Jeff Jarrett is the heavyweight champion again.
Probably, yeah.
And
That's
he tries to sell his gold belt away for
all right,
cash.
sorry, now.
now they're updating it because Dutch Mantel's back on it. Or is
Oh yeah,
that
Bruce
been there
Pritchard's on
so
it too, by the
long?
way. Bruce Pritchard's
Oh,
on
then
there.
they've updated.
Eddie
The same-
Kingston.
All it means is they haven't updated since those guys left last
Yeah.
time.
Hey, Aaron Rex hasn't been at the tapings. What happened?
Oh, I don't know.
So anyway,
he got smart.
so I'm closing the website down. Okay, now to get in a argument with Matt Stein here about the Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy thing. I saw your post on Facebook a little while back. I didn't comment on it because I figured we would talk about it here. But you posted on there and you said, "Hey, I don't care if who created the name or whatever, like or the gimmick, the broken gimmick. Matt Hardy did so much, they shouldn't sue him." But man, hey, legal's legal, man. Legal's
Okay,
legal. I don't know. I don't know.
I just want to say real quick, if they don't do it, even if they think it's wrong, they lose any chance at future ones. They have to do it. That's how the legal
But here's what they want though, because they've come out and they've said not them specifically, but Meltzer's talking about what they want. Now they don't want him to not use it. They said that they're 100% fine with Matt Hardy using this gimmick outside of their company because they know he's not coming back. They don't want him back. They don't want him to stop using Broken Matt. They simply want a cut of the revenue every time he's paid for using it. No, that's horse shit. What a carny bullshit that's like saying that like, oh, you know, it's cool you can use it even though it was 4 people that came up with the gimmick, you know. We just want a small cut if you go to WWE. Give us do they really need money that fucking bad that they're gonna try and take one guy to come away? That's see what WWE did with Cody, they did it out of spite. It's no better, by the way. I think it's horseshit WWE did that to him. But WWE isn't going, oh, you can use Cody Rhodes and give us a little bit of cash on the down low. Like what the fuck kind of party?
That's them, quote unquote, protecting their intellectual property, which, again, it goes down the line of if they don't, they lose the precedent in future cases where it's actually legitimately a thing they should do.
What they need to do then is they need to actually put in paperwork, in writing, that they own it. Because the problem with that is that they didn't specifically say it, and they also fucked up his contract to begin with. They didn't give him things that were so like they've already breached the contract with him. It wasn't specifically stated that they owned his character, and now they're saying they're going to sue him. God damn this company.
And the thing I don't like about the whole thing is the work for hire aspect. You've seen that with comic artists and creators like that, like who owns what. But as far as I know, that wasn't part of it. He was a work for hire talent. And it's intellectual property. I don't know if in the language of the contract does state that anything he creates is owned by them, but that means that Kurt Angle couldn't take the ankle lock or the stars and stripes because he had it there. Of course he can. It doesn't really work that way. That's the Impact guys being fucking desperate and hoping for the best because they don't want that product, but they want a cut of it. That's
I get it. They're trying to stop him from going elsewhere because they that's laughable, but they see WWE as competition.
Well, yeah. Here's my question.
If they were simply saying you cannot use it, period. Okay, but no, we want a cut. Fuck you.
Here's my question: if they go to WWE eventually, and WWE decides, yeah, we want the broken Matt Hardy gimmick, we'll put our full force of our legal team behind you to help you fight TNA. Where's TNA then? They're fine.
I mean,
part
of
the video library of WWE.
Matt's gonna kill them in court. Matt, I guarantee you, Matt has more money than they do. That's what's sad about this
All
stupid
they've got to do,
company.
all he's got to do is prove that the stuff that he made of his own accord, by the way, all that footage is things that he owned, because there's rights issues with Superman. what was created by who was created what, like the Daily Planet, Lois Lane, all these different aspects are created here, and this is there. There's precedent for character creation. And Matt Hardy, sure, 4 people made it, but he performed it, he acted it out, he made it work the way it was. He's gonna win.
It still just blows my mind though, and I know Jake looks at it from just 100% legal, but like even if they had 100% right to the character, this guy literally saved their company.
Oh,
He carried it on their back. He funded their fucking shows, and they turn around because they're petty because he didn't resign because they were too fucking slow to send him what he wanted in their agreement they had already agreed on. They're so fucking petty that they're going to try to start legal actions with him.
He's the reason they exist. He's the reason they got bought and have owners. And even, like I said, you're saying even if they're in their perfect right, again, they have to act that way to do it. They're probably like, we really shouldn't do this, but we have to.
What a bad way to start their company too. Like to start new management, to try and have a fresh breath of like a fresh start, another fucking fresh start of 13.
Yeah.
New management comes in and says, hey, we're gonna take care of you. Oh no, we're not gonna take care of anybody. We're gonna sue your asses unless you fall in line. Fuck off.
Well, the worst part of it too is there's a new start. We're gonna make TNA great again. You know that one thing that you've liked for the past half year? It's gone. Yeah. Well, that's already you're losing. So.
This company is a fucking joke.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing. I do agree that they are being petty as fuck, that they are lowballing, but I'm just saying if they did, because I don't know who came up with it. I haven't heard an official who did come up with. Huh?
4 people came up with it. It was Matt, Jeremy Borash, and 2. I know their names. They're following.
I think it was like Lagana and.
Wait, so Matt helped come up with it as well.
Well, they said that Matt came up with the majority of it. That's what the story is.
Okay.
But they helped round him.
But it's work for hire. So he made it while he was there. Therefore, they own it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what they're claiming.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Doesn't own anything except for Garbage. TNA owns the name Garbage. They should be called Garbage Wrestling. They have been. They were actually okay.
Leave CZW out of this.
I've watched a few episodes.
A preemptive strike there. Jesus.
6 months, and like they were all right, and now they're going on. Instead of making their product better, they're blaming the previous product for being terrible. They're Trump. They're Donald Trumping it. That's their goal. Like they're literally think, oh, well, Donald Trump became president because he badmouthed the way the country was. Well, we're going to use that on a wrestling way. No, it's not. It doesn't.
Did you hear how they're paying people now? It used to be per episode. Now it's per taping.
Yeah, or per taping. Yeah, so like it's they show up and they film one day. They pay them for that one day.
Yeah, even though it's 4 episodes, they want to make it actually be 5 days with less each. So they're stretching it.
Left. They took off because they're like, no, fuck that. You're underpaying. Like that's just taking advantage of your workforce.
Yeah, and with the Hardys especially, they're working other dates. That's cool, but contractually TNA wanted 10% of their shit. Fuck you.
I actually
absolutely not.
I didn't hear that. That's news to me. That's super shitty. Yeah.
Here's more news on the Hardys. Jeff has been talking about it and saying that it's a short-term deal with Ring of Honor.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it always was. That was the plan.
But it's actually like he's actually said it. So yeah.
Meltzer's reporting that they had those dates signed a while ago. They just wanted to make an impact and make them make it seem important that they showed up in Ring of Honor. And then the plan was more than likely WWE. But now, because of TNA's nonsense, WWE might be like, well, we're going to wait until this shit is settled because obviously they don't want legal action. But like, God, man, fuck. TNA just doesn't fucking get it, man. What a fucking worthless pile of garbage company. They let Hulk Hogan have the owner of the company drag him begging, please don't leave, please don't leave. And you're thinking, oh, well, where's this going? No, it didn't go anywhere. He literally left the company.
Yeah, he basically took a shit on it on the way out, like on TV.
Put a dump in. He should have been like, Dixie, I'm gonna pull down my pants, and you're gonna eat my giant dump, brother. God, these companies just
they're worse. Can it be said now that their mismanagement and shit is way worse than anything WCW did in their downfall years?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
it's a matter of time before WWE owns the library and starts selling stuff.
Like WCW made money. It wasn't for very long, but they made money at some point. TNA has never once made a profit. They've always ran in the red for their entire existence. How the fuck are they still alive?
Well, dude, remember the stuff when it was Billy Corgan, how Dixie was complaining he was a predatory lender. Like, if you default on this, I own this because I did this money investment. Like, no, that's how it works. I'm giving you this money. If you don't do this for me with the money in the agreement, I get this. And she's like, that's
all
not
his
fair
money back
after agreeing to it.
He got everything back, and he made money. They
Yep.
said they ended up paying him a percentage on top of
And-
what he put into.
And I said that he was going to go in there. They have no idea what they're dealing with him and his lawyers and stuff. And I was right. He won completely. And it's like, I was your chance. I'm out. See you later. And now Jeff Jarrett and Dan
He
Teller
was
back.
their chance too. I mean, like they needed to give it to somebody with a fresh face, someone with fresh ideas, a fresh opportunity. And instead, this Anthem comes in, buys the company, and goes, "Oh yeah, let's give it back to the team that never did anything with the company to begin with." Oh my God, what a bunch of! You deserve to die. You deserve to die in mediocrity.
They do have a really cool logo now with an owl. So
they don't.
I mean,
That's great.
The owl names are great. So they have a thing on the website where people can vote on a name for the owl, and they're pretty hilarious. Like, it's just nothing but shit bagging TNA.
of course, yeah.
Fuck
I love
yeah.
my favorite one is Claire Lynch.
Gone.
God damn, man. TNA deserves to just be gone.
As much as I hate it, because they were one of my favorite alternatives back in the day, man. I was a big TNA fan back in the day, so it's heartbreaking. But yeah, I'm leaning towards agreeing on that. As much as I hate companies when everybody's like, oh, they need to go out of business. That always like pisses me off because there's so many guys that work for them. But man, if they're literally busting guys pay down to once per appearance, like you're talking about, man, it is about that time. Yeah, because they have a good history. I remember every single Wednesday when they did the weekly pay-per-views, I would watch every single show, every single Wednesday, over like a lot of WWE programming. No joke. Every Wednesday, I would watch them.
Hey, remember when they had AJ and Joe and Austin and all these guys that are making WWE crazy good? Bobby Roode, Eric Young, yeah. They had it and blew it, and now they're over there, and it's either the greatest invasion angle ever, or they
something.
fucked them up so bad.
What the hell is their main event scene now? Like, who besides the champion who's no longer with the company?
Bobby Lashley's still their main event guy.
No, okay, so, hey, spoilers. There's going to eventually be Borash versus Matthews as an announcement. No, hold on. Let me finish. They're leading Lethal Lockdown teams. And the loser leaves.
Well, that's good.
Oh, so Josh Matthews is gone then.
No, you know who the loser is? It's anyone who fucking watches that shit, and they're the ones who are gonna leave and never come back.
I mean, that's Matthews is definitely done.
And that's what it's going towards. So yeah.
Oh man, that's so gross.
But that's already
That's funny.
That's
so
April
gross.
set. It's ready.
Well, we're gonna have to keep everybody updated on that situation. We're gonna have to watch that one.
That was it. Oh, and one other thing, real quick, before I know we're about to close it out, I did want to say congratulations to Christopher Daniels for winning the Ring of Honor title.
That is awesome.
Pretty fucking cool.
Too.
I don't know what happened. I didn't catch this.
He beat Adam Cole.
Yeah, he did.
Ring of Honor thing.
46 years old.
Finally won.
46 years old. He did 3 best moonsaults in the business in a row. And he did it within like 10 seconds. He did 3 of them in a row and pinned Adam Cole. That was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
He apparently he main evented the very first Ring of Honor show ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
So for him to come back and win the title for the first time that many years later, that's awesome. So that's a great story. That's why we had Ring of Honor. Good booking. Good booking.
His first world title of any type. Like he never won the TNA title, nothing. So it's pretty great to have him there do that. He had the original Ring of Honor belt with the new one in his victory.
That's
party.
pretty cool.
So Adam Cole is definitely on his way to WWE there because now he's having like friction with Young Bucks in Japan and stuff.
Yeah, Bullet Club.
He's on his way out. He's in WWE. He has to be. Steen is like one of his best friends, Kevin Owens. So it was a matter of time before he was coming in.
Good. Maybe I'll get me another they wrestled in CZW video out with Adam Cole.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
But anyway, guys, I think that's it. Are you guys ready to wrap this bad boy up?
Yeah, it was a long one, but there was a shitload to talk
It
about.
actually
so.
wasn't that
There's a lot,
bad.
yeah.
We're like 1 hour 12 minutes. That's not
Oh,
bad.
sweet. There you go.
Not bad at all.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, the next episode though, that's going to be our WrestleMania predictions. We're going to try to get everybody in here. Try to get Rab, maybe Peanut if he's around. Try to get everybody's predictions as we go into it. That one probably will be a little bit longer because hey, it's fucking the WrestleMania big final look at the card, the full card and everything, all the big breakdown. So look forward to that. That's gonna be in 2 weeks. If you guys are ready, I'm ready. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
All right.